AITA for calling the cops on my best friend for stealing. I, 26, have been best friends with Sarah, 25, since we were in elementary school. We have always been close, confiding in each other about everything and supporting each other through thick and thin. Sarah has always been there for me, and I have always done the same for her. We were practically like sisters, always having each other's backs no matter what. Things started to change, though, when Sarah began struggling with financial difficulties. She lost her job due to the pandemic and was having a hard time making ends meet. I tried to help her out as much as I could, lending her money when she needed it, and even offering to let her stay with me until she got back on her feet. I just wanted to be there for her in any way possible, to show her that she was not alone in her struggles. However, it soon became apparent that Sarah's financial situation was worse than she had initially let on. She started asking for more and more money, coming up with different excuses each time as to why she needed it urgently. I started to feel a little suspicious, but I pushed those thoughts aside, telling myself that my best friend would never betray my trust. That all changed one fateful day when I walked into my apartment and found Sarah rummaging through my belongings. Shocked and confused, I asked her what she was doing, and her response left me speechless. She admitted to stealing from me, saying that she needed the money to pay off her debts. I was heartbroken and betrayed, unable to believe that my best friend would do something like that to me. I didn't know what to do. I was torn between my loyalty to Sarah and my own sense of justice. On one hand, she was my best friend, someone I had known for years and had shared countless memories with. On the other hand, she had violated my trust in the worst possible way, taking advantage of my kindness and generosity. I decided to confront Sarah about what I had found, hoping that she would apologize and make amends. Instead, she became defensive and tried to downplay her actions, saying that she had no other choice but to steal from me. I was hurt and angry, feeling like I had been played for a fool by someone I thought I could trust implicitly. As the days passed, I couldn't shake off the feeling of betrayal and loss. I tried to distance myself from Sarah, needing time to process what had happened and figure out what to do next. However, she kept coming to me, trying to make amends and asking for forgiveness. I was torn between wanting to salvage our friendship and wanting to protect myself from further harm. The final straw came when Sarah asked me for more money, saying that she was still struggling to pay off her debts. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It was clear to me that she had not learned from her mistakes and was still willing to manipulate and deceive me to get what she wanted. That's when I made the difficult decision to call the cops on my best friend for stealing. I knew that it was a drastic step to take, but I felt like I had no other choice. I couldn't continue to enable Sarah's behavior, allowing her to take advantage of me and potentially others as well. I needed to show her that there were consequences to her actions, that she couldn't just walk all over me and expect everything to be okay. The fallout from my decision was explosive. Sarah was shocked and devastated that I had called the cops on her, feeling like I had betrayed her in the worst possible way. She accused me of being heartless and cold, of not understanding the depths of her desperation. I tried to explain to her that I had no other choice, that I couldn't continue to turn a blind eye to her actions. We haven't spoken since that day, both of us nursing our wounds and feeling the weight of what had transpired between us. I miss our friendship, the bond we used to share, but I can't ignore the fact that Sarah crossed a line that should never have been crossed. I still struggle with feelings of guilt and doubt, wondering if I did the right thing by calling the cops on my best friend. As I sit here, reflecting on everything that has happened, I can't help but ask myself, am I the asshole for calling the cops on my best friend for stealing? I don't know if I'll ever find a clear answer to that question, but I do know that I had to do what was right for me, even if it meant losing someone I once held dear. And that realization is something that I will have to live with for the rest of my life. Update: it had been several weeks since I made the decision to call the cops on Sarah, and the fallout from that choice continued to weigh heavily on me. The once vibrant and close friendship we shared now felt like a distant memory, clouded by feelings of betrayal and hurt. Sarah had reached out to me multiple times, apologizing profusely and expressing her deep regret for what she had done. She begged for a chance to make things right, to rebuild the trust that had been shattered between us. Despite her pleas, I found it difficult to let go of the pain and anger that lingered in my heart. I couldn't shake the feeling that calling the cops on Sarah had been the right choice, that I needed to set boundaries and protect myself from further harm. But at the same time, I couldn't ignore the sadness that came with losing a friendship that had once meant everything to me. One evening, as I sat alone in my apartment, contemplating the events that had transpired, I received a call from Sarah. Hesitantly, I answered, unsure of what to expect. Her voice was shaky and filled with emotion as she spoke, her words a mixture of apology and desperation. "I know I messed up, I know I hurt you," Sarah began, her voice cracking. "But I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make things right. Please, give me another chance to prove that I can be a better friend to you." Torn between the desire to forgive and the fear of being hurt again, I listened to Sarah's words, feeling the weight of her sincerity. It was clear that she was genuinely remorseful for her actions, willing to make amends and work towards rebuilding our friendship. After a long conversation filled with tears and heartfelt exchanges, I made the decision to give Sarah a second chance. It wasn't an easy choice, and I knew that the road ahead would be filled with challenges and uncertainties. But I also knew that our friendship was worth fighting for, that the bond we shared was too precious to let go of so easily. Conclusion. As time passed, Sarah and I worked towards repairing the damage that had been done. Our friendship slowly began to heal as we navigated through the pain and mistrust that had once divided us. While the scars of betrayal still lingered, we both made a conscious effort to move forward, learning from our mistakes and growing stronger as a result. The experience of calling the cops on my best friend for stealing had forever changed the dynamics of our relationship, leaving behind a bittersweet residue of hurt and forgiveness. While we may never fully forget the pain of that betrayal, we both chose to focus on the lessons learned and the strength gained from overcoming such a challenge. In the end, we parted ways as friends, but not without a lingering sense of bitterness and resentment. The wounds inflicted by Sarah's actions and my decision to involve the authorities would forever leave a mark on our once unbreakable bond. As we moved forward separately, with the memories of our tumultuous past still haunting our steps, it became clear that sometimes forgiveness doesn't equal forgetting, and some wounds may never fully heal. The question of whether I was the asshole for calling the cops on my best friend remained unanswered, buried beneath the layers of complexity and emotion that defined our shared history. And in that uncertainty, our friendship remained forever altered, a testament to the fragility of trust and the enduring power of forgiveness. Was the op in the wrong? Comment down below and make sure to like and subscribe.